not the prettiest looking game. I want to tell you that. But the physics, it is regarded as the most realistic rally physics you'll ever put your hands on. It's hard. It's difficult. And I'm pretty sure.
Exactly, man. It's such a crazy concept. It's like, hey, you don't have to buy this stuff from you. Like, just buy the filament and print it. Whatever it is. As long as you got filament, you can print it. So something else, just thinking about rig stuff. So I have, I think, like...
Hello and welcome to the Chicane Podcast, where we discuss all things in the sim racing world. I'm your host, Jason Rivera, and I'm joined here by Mr. Eric Kelly and Jeff Smart. How's it going, fellas?
Going good, man. Going good. Good to see you guys.
Going well. Ready to see you guys. Ready to dig into it. We've got a bunch of stuff to cover today.
Yes, sir. We are 43 episodes in. I'm counting down to that
chugging
50
right
mark.
along.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
So excited. I don't really have that many announcements this week. It's been relatively quiet. Weather's been all over the place here in Hawaii.
I know, right?
Jeff can tell you. Probably ruined some people's plans because it was
For
very
weekend,
nice
right?
when you woke up, and then when you went to leave, it was a thunderstorm. So, and if it's raining on this side of the island, it's raining everywhere. That's just the fact. Yeah.
That is the truth. Yeah.
If you go outside and it's raining here, oh man, it's raining everywhere. So, not much from me. Just excited to be here and happy to see the many comments on the YouTube channel. It's been fun to engage with you that way. So keep that coming. And I think
Can
today,
I
go
jump?
ahead.
I got a statement. I guess this is here. But God bless America. Of all the stuff we talked about last episode, the thing that got people triggered was what they put on their toast and how they put on it.
Look, I knew that was going to be a sticking point. I've seen some other stuff online, people talking about beans on toast, and it's really kind of polarizing. It's like either you're for it or it's the most disgusting concept known to man. And that's I knew that was going to be.
Dude, there was like tuna fish. There was like fried something or other.
I'm Puerto Rican, guys. That's not a secret on this feed here. Yeah. And I can't get. I tried it. I told Daniel Newman, DNR, shout out to DNR, the GOAT, which is on vacation right now in NYC. So watch your back, bro. This, it's not UK. NYC could be, be careful. Be careful out there.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yes, sir. That's walking them streets. It's beautiful in the daytime, but at night, just be careful. I tried it, and I tried the beans on toast. Mm. It was edible. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's a hell of a take. It was edible.
It was. I gave it the time of day. I'm a man of my word. I said I would do it. And a newsflash, they don't have these beans in Hawaii, so I had to order the stuff. It cost me a fortune, like $20 for a can, for like a pack of 6 or something.
Probably cost you.
Oh man,
like
$1.99
at Walmart back in the state or the mainland.
What you gonna do with the other 5.5 cans, man?
That's what I was gonna say. We haven't really done a giveaway on the show, so if anybody. We're not there yet. We're not at that capacity yet. So I will send you some beans from the UK. Hey. So let me know if that interests you. And I'm dead serious. You might get a package, and I'll use this from Jeff, from Max Verstappen. Just to conceal identity, which is kind of amazing. So anyway, that's it for me, man. So over to Eric. What's going on with your week, man? How's it going?
My week was great. Valentine's was this past Friday, and lo and behold, my wife, she's great. She heard me talking about 3D printers, and she kind of asked me some probing questions earlier in the week, and I didn't give her enough detail for her to make the decision on her own. But while we were out Friday, I took the day off, and we went, did some Valentine's stuff. We went to one of our favorite coffee spots, and then took her to get a mani-pedi. And we got something to eat. and we were just kind of going around. And if you don't know, she's a developer, so she's very tech savvy, borderline nerdy, if you will. And there's a place here called Gigaparts, which is like Best Buy, but for actual people with like hobbies. Like you want to build a ham radio, you want
Like
to
circuit boards and
buy,
stuff.
yeah, like they have all the parts there. Like you want to build a Raspberry Pi from scratch, they got them right there, ready to pick up. Like it's a cool local place. And we were there, and she asked me about a 3D printer again. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one that I was looking at getting. And she was like, that's it? I was like, yeah. She was like, I was looking at getting one that was like $800-900, but the one, I was like,
man,
really?
Misjudged the temperature on that one.
Yeah, but because this was the particular one I've been researching, went ahead and got it. But I'll save that for my actual discussion piece. But I do have a 3D printer, and I want to give you guys some feedback on it.
Oh, that's what's up. I mean, so she bought the printer. That's the most important thing. It didn't come out of pocket.
Yep.
So how about
Best
that butt kicker
Valentine's
now?
ever.
So how about that? Now you can print the mounts. Now you can print the mounts to mount it up.
I've got a whole. It's crazy. The ecosystem.
You messed up, Eric.
It's crazy. Yeah.
You let the wrong two individuals know that you have a printer.
Hey, look, I'll be sharing with you guys.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. You're kind of far though, but
So I'll say this: if I give you guys an app, you can just send stuff to print to my printer. And
that's cool.
But we'll talk about it in the discussion. What the capabilities are. Yeah,
dude, you be careful what you ask for, bro. Hey. What you wish for.
He's gonna wake up and have some.
I know he's gonna wake up and the machine is like smoking. Like
that's what I was worried about these past couple of days. For real, like it's been printing nonstop.
Well, that's cool.
Is it printing now?
To hear about it.
Is it printing now?
It's not printing now because you will definitely hear it.
All right. Well, that's awesome news. That sounds like a great week. All right. So over to Jeff. What's up, Jeff? What's going on with you?
No, just kind of quite like you gentlemen. Just kind of chugging along. Had a nice weekend. Then I had a little moment of weakness. My good friend Crown Royal and Coke got me.
Oh.
And pulled the trigger on that Simagic Q1 sequential shifter because I've been, doing a bunch of the racing where you really need it just adds to the immersion having one and not the round wheel. So so that'll be arriving here shortly. I go on travel for work here in a couple of days. So when I come back, it'll be waiting for me. So I got that to look forward to. So
this always happens to you. You always order stuff and then you leave. And then you're like, hey, can I ship this to your house? Bro,
I did.
Sure. Can you go pick it up? What if they leave it outside?
My wife
gave it to me.
Wife will be here. We'll be good.
But I'm saying every time he orders something high end or whatever, he leaves.
I know, and it's crazy part. Like I'm only gone for 2 nights, so maybe it probably won't beat me by the time I'm gone. But I'm excited to get back from that trip and get it going.
I hope it does, man, because no better feeling you come home and it's there. So
let's go, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, wife. Hey, kids. See you later. I'm going.
No. Handle your business, of course. By all means.
Don't get beat up.
Yeah. So I'm looking to.
But then you sneak downstairs, late at night, and you quick unboxing.
Yeah. I'm a little nervous. They say like one of the downfalls or the cons, if you will, is it's got a good click to it as you switching gears, but that's a first world problem.
It is a loud ass shifter.
It is.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
But everybody's like that. Adds
you didn't
to
consult
like the nice...
me, man. You consulted Crown Royal, and Crown Royal said, "Yeah, it'll be fine."
Yeah, don't worry about that.
You didn't. I woke up to a message that says I bought it. I was like, "Whoa, damn!" Not saying it's a bad thing, but well, you have a room down there. Maybe if you close the doors.
I mean,
put some towels on the door to kind of insulate. That shit is loud, bro.
A big portion of it was that it was on like 30% off. So it's normally like $3.
Interesting. So how much, if we can ask?
Man.
Yeah, it was like 2 and change, low 2s.
Oh, that's not bad. That's what I paid for the Q1S, which is a lesser. You got a better one than mine.
So I was just another thing was just like I was nervous that that those like 30% off is not insignificant.
Yeah.
So
So
can't
are
wait
there
to get
any, like,
back.
mods to quiet it though? Like, do those exist?
You don't
Maybe?
want to quiet that thing. That's immediate. The
I don't
I'm
know.
just saying,
slamming.
if he gets it and it's like unbearably loud, getting
Yeah,
complaints
then
every
we'll
time he's
research
running through the
that. But until
gears,
then,
you know.
let freedom ring.
I already told
Hey,
him a
yeah, there you
mod,
go.
Eric. The towel on the door to insulate the sound.
Touche. I did miss that.
And if you really want to get fancy, put a white noise thing right by the door. Problem solved.
Yeah, just
Oh, yeah.
add more noise to
Cancel
drown out
some
the
of
other noise.
those.
People be falling
Yeah.
asleep left and right. Well, that's what's up, guys. Welcome back
Yeah.
to the show. Those are way better updates than mine, I guess. I mean, yeah. Happy Valentine's Day. I completely forgot about that. I went to the UB40 concert, which was kind of cool. You know, that's kind of my date night, but I didn't get a 3D printer, you know, when I got home.
You know.
So
Yeah.
maybe
Hey, my
one
wife,
day.
she's the Valentine goat this year. I'll tell you that.
I mean, if someone's watching the show, you know, hint, hint. So, so anyways, today is kind of exciting. I have teased this a few times. You know, Richard Burns Rally, RBR, rally racing is old as hell. I think it's like a 2004 game. And
Wow.
a lot of those games, right? Yeah, a lot of those games were built on the older DirectX 7 or 9, I forget which one it was.
Yeah.
And they just simply don't work on modern PCs. However, a place called Rally Simfans out of Hungary found a way to mod the game with a plugin to get it to work on modern systems, and they have it all. They got triple screen support. They
Wow.
have Sim Hub support. They even created their own force
Dang.
feedback plugin, right? It's an NGP plugin, which I will share my screen right now.
Dude,
I can't
people
wait.
are awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah.
People are awesome.
Oh, and guess what? You know how much this thing costs? It's $0. It's free of charge. You can go in there right now. They have
Man.
over 400 tracks, over 90 gigs. Where's my notes? They got over 90 gigs of content for you to download right now for free. And
That's
it's
like
all in one spot.
Content manager zone.
Yeah.
Right. So
definitely.
content manager, go ahead, Eric. What's up?
No, I'm just saying that's definitely like content manager. That's crazy.
Yeah. So they created an installer, which I'm going to walk you guys through. And content manager is great. It is probably the best modded thing I've ever used. You know, modded manager, I guess. But these guys created a installation, like a Windows installation, where you have to click next multiple times and you never read. And if they ask you if you want to agree, you agree, because you know you guys don't read this stuff. Come on, don't play with me.
Not at all.
So yeah, so let me share my screen, so I can walk you through where to get it, how to install it. Where are you? There it is. So this is the website. Very simple. Rally. It almost looks sketchy, you know.
It's got like a early 2000s internet feel.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely a Dreamweaver kind of feeling.
So, if you want me to go through the change log, as you can see, and this is, dude, this is free of charge. I can continue.
Dude, somebody loves them some rally racing.
I was about to say this is a work of love. For
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. So here you have your leaderboards, you have your stages. I'm gonna just click on this, and these are the rallies that you can participate because the game is online, and they actually have events where they'll travel from Canada down to Mexico, and you rally your way down every week. I'm serious.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool.
So you have your championships here, and you can see the number of rallies. You can see the score system, the rules. See the rules. You can see the entry list. Let's see how many people are in here. So we got 11 entries. Okay. Not too many people. Let's go back. And
I bet those 11 people are good.
Oh yeah.
There's bigger events though, like I think it's there's so many to choose from.
Holy cow.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So look at this E-Rally Croatia Championship that it goes through. Let's check it out. Just an example. You can see the rules here again. This one's way more involved.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can see the categories of cars you can use. This is all free, guys. You can go and download this right now. So how do you get it? First of all, you create an account so that way you can register for these and use basically play the game. You don't have to register to play the game offline, but everybody wants to play online at least, right? So you hit download. Mm-hmm. Now, you can read through this, but they have an installation guide here, which I will share. Let me stop this one, and I will share that installation and go through that with you guys. Bear with me. So here it is. No donations or charges. NGP is the next generation physics by Workabee, up-to-date physics and general game improvements. And then these are all the plugins. So you got a Pace Note plugin. You have the RBR HUD, the controls. It works in VR, Eric. So that might be something that interests you.
What?
Yeah.
21-year-old game working in VR. That's crazy, man.
Look at this RBR triples plugin. So you can get NVIDIA Surround working natively in this game.
People are awesome.
Yeah, dude, look, this is how you do it. You download. I'm going to summarize this because it's a lot. So you download a torrent file. Very safe. Mm-hmm. Just get a torrent, get BitTorrent. I think they recommend Qubit right here. The RSF team, Rally Sim Fans team, recommends using open source Qubit torrent as a torrent application. But any app will work. So you download the torrent, you put the files in. They tell you, do not put it in this location. I'm summarizing. This is what the installer looks like. And look, 60 to 90 gigs worth of space if you want for the over 400 or so modded stages.
That is wild.
Yeah. So
you have good internet. You're going to be waiting forever.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. They have a server. It's like you connect to their server. And it's not like Content Manager I was going to mention earlier. Content Manager, you have to find the mod and then put that into Content Manager and install it. This is one installation file. You click next and you choose what you want. These are the plugins that you can install if you want to use those. And then these are the updates, tire wear, flag icon, all the options. The Microsoft updates, you want to install those, you want to follow these to the T. Then it has a launcher. This is what their launcher looks like. If you want to launch it directly into virtual reality, then you click that button. Then you select your resolution, VSync, graphics, you name it. Man. So here's another look at the launcher. And then this is how you register online and you sign in. You sign in through the launcher right here where you put your details and it automatically sign you in when you start. And yeah, that covers the setup. Then it tells you keyboard shortcut guide if you want to look at that.
Is that a mouse? It's got a mouse.
It's a mouse. Oh man.
Oh, he went there.
This game is next level, man.
Ooh, that's low. That's low for you. Oh. EA, if you're watching.
Oh, that was the comment of the century.
21-year game, man.
Listen, EA, I will go back to school and learn some coding and put the damn mouse in your games. Please let me know.
I'm just saying, VR is one thing, but mouse support? Come on.
Oh, yeah. Your mouse will work in VR, too. It should.
Okay, they're just flexing now. Right.
So that's Rally Sim Fans, guys. It is not the prettiest looking game. I want to tell you that. But the physics, it is regarded as the most realistic rally physics you'll ever put your hands on. It's hard. It's difficult. And I'm pretty sure when our users, when you guys watch this video, there's probably RBR fans that can back me up here on how difficult it can be to drive these cars. But it's very rewarding. And it works with all our hardware. All the hardware that we have, it works. So if you're new to sim racing and you have a passion for rally, if rally is one of your passion, or if you have a low end PC, you can run this for free. You can download it for free and start driving away. So that's just a quick look. I guess on
it's
RBR.
cool, man. Because every now and again, I want to get in and I jump back into WRC, but it's cool that I didn't even know that this was out there, that there was another. So thanks for bringing it up, man. I appreciate it. It's just, I'm not a big rally guy. Obviously, it's very hard with the wheel, but it is super fun to just get in there. And
well, Jeff, you just picked up a sequential shifter. It might be that absolutely. Time. It might be that time. And here's the thing, guys. So, like, a lot of us have different schedules, different times and stuff, for racing, I mean. And sometimes, Jeff and I live out here and it's hard to find a race sometimes, depending on the sim, unless we've been using a lot of iRacing because of that mainly. And iRacing is awesome. At the same time, it's a win-win. Yeah. But with this online, the way it works, it's not you're online in real time. It's just that this week we're in Croatia and we're on track 2 or stage 3 or whatever it is. And you just do your rally and you post your time. And then next week it'll go to the next one. So there's a little flexibility on, okay. You see what I'm trying to say?
That is super cool. And I know we crap on F1 a bunch, but when I did use the F1 23s, I think it was 23 was when I really started using it. They had like the track that this F1 series was at, and you could do it was like post your fastest lap of the day, or you'd race AI and whatever it was, and there would be a leaderboard throughout the season. That was cool. So in what you're saying is, hey, the Croatia series, as they're moving around, and you just get in there when you can.
Exactly.
And run your stage. That's super cool.
Let's say you got up, right? And you have a whole, let's say you had a plan for your family, like you're going to the beach or something, or you're going out with them. And you felt like driving, but you can't because you got something going on that day. But you wake up a little earlier, maybe do a little exercise. I know Jeff likes to go for runs sometimes in the morning. You can jump in there 15 minutes, post your rally time, and go about your business. And you're still competing in the championship. You're still trying to get better. I think it's great.
That's super cool.
It's absolutely awesome. And it's free. You can't.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's hard to wrap your head around.
It's free.
Yeah. Another piece, like, are they interested in Midnight Club? Specifically Dub Edition. I'm just saying.
I know
at least one person that would fully support you, buy your coffee or something like that.
That's it.
If you guys were to stand up Midnight Club Dub Edition. I'm just saying. Right. One guy right here. Sure somebody else had that, man.
So RBR, that's kind of a quick overview because there's a lot.
With 90 gigs, there's gotta be a lot. I mean,
there's custom pace notes. You can customize the actual pace notes on the track. So how you have your co-driver, and he's telling you turn by turn.
Listen to those guys. It's like a different language sometimes. Yeah. You listen to it, they're like right, 2, left, over 1, peak 1, 3, 4, 7. You're
80, like, hold, brake, into, or But if it's kind of nice when you learn how to listen to that and you stop looking at the prompt. I highly recommend people getting into rally, just turn the prompts off. Turn the prompts off. Keep your eyes on the road. That's the best thing. And just listen, because the stuff that he's telling you is based off speed, how fast you're moving and how fast you're approaching. So he'll say, if you're going at full speed, he's going to say, all right, 80 meters, 20, that means the next turn is coming. 5. If it's a high number, the higher the number, I think the max number is 6. If it's a 6 right, then that's like the easiest 6, like the what do you call this? A short, like a wide. if it's a 4 or 3, then the smaller and smaller. You got to turn, you know what I mean? If it's a 1, that's damn near 90. And if it's a hairpin, you're down in first gear and pulling the e-brake to get around the hairpin.
Oh, yeah.
So just look at it that way. From the highest number to the lowest number. The lowest number being the sharpest turn. But sometimes it's not that simple. You got like a 3 into a 1 into a 2 into a so you're like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't remember what I ate for breakfast, and he's giving me 3 turns ahead.
Yeah,
Hey,
sometimes
man,
you
I'm
straight
telling
up
you,
lose them. You're like, oh, what did he say? You know. So rally is the only time where I turn music off when I'm practicing. When I'm racing, music's off. When I'm practicing, music's on. Rally,
That
the
makes sense.
music is always off because
Hey, you got to hear.
the co-driver. Yeah. So that's
Yeah, that's
RBR. If you guys have any questions, email the show at thechicanepodcast@gmail.com or leave a comment. I'm pretty sure there's a healthy RBR fans out there that will chime on this and give this a try. You know, I'll leave the links to where you can get this. And they have a big Discord community, which, of course, Discord is like the book to everything, right? It's like the manual to everything, the digital manual. You always need whatever you get into, sim racing wise. You might want to check if they have a Discord. Highly recommend. So that covers my section on RBR. It's really fun. It's a lot of fun. Check it out.
Yeah. I'm gonna download that, man, because I'm very interested in just rally in general and taking your advice and turning off the prompts, because that usually is what happens. I'm trying to look at the prompts and I don't really pay attention to what they're saying, and the prompts just aren't enough information.
And they're fast. You know,
yeah,
they're changing,
like flashing and moving, and so yeah, I think I'm gonna take that advice and
actually I recommend anybody that has a sim racing setup on PC, I would turn the entire HUD off. You know, as long as you have a small dashboard that can let you know what you need to know, which that's what lovely dashboard's for. You don't need to have any distractions on the screen. You really don't. You don't need
immersion too, in my opinion.
You don't need a map or any of this stuff unless you're practicing, if you want that, or if you're looking at lap times, again, practice. But if you're just racing, you just want road and vehicles. That's it. That's,
I can understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
All right.
That's cool.
So Eric, let's hear about this 3D printer, which I'm jealous.
So, you know,
he beat us to it, Jeff.
I know, man. We've been complaining about it for a while too.
Hey, I tried to give y'all some time, man, but you know.
Oh yeah.
Wifey had different, you know, she had a different plan in mind. And of course, I'm pretty sure there's some things she might have seen she wants printed as well. But
oh yeah, it's never a one-way
small
street,
price
bro.
to pay.
Listen,
she
knew exactly what she did when she bought that printer.
Let me know. I'll print it out in between whatever I'm printing. For sure.
She's gonna want that money back. That's how.
However she gets it, you know, we can work up in payments for real. But
that's awesome.
I want to share the website here. So the printer that I got was the Bamboo Lab A1 printer. It's definitely not
it's not that one. I was about to say that's
not
like
the P1S. No, I don't know why they're even showing me that. Matter of fact, let's go to their 3D printers.
It looks beautiful though, that P1S, bro.
Yeah, the P1S is nice.
That looks dope too. You know, sorry. It looks like a microscope almost with the platform, you know, just without the
yeah, it's pretty cool. I actually have it. You can't see this just off camera right here, which just to show you guys right quick.
I bet you're in love with that thing, Eric. I bet you got a smile on your face.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Right there, off to the side. Didn't have to really move anything. I just cleared some stuff off that spot.
All right, we're gonna have to break into his house.
Hey, look. Hey man, y'all can just send something over to the printer. For real. But
and then Venmo you just like $20 to send it over.
Look at this freaking UI on this website, man.
Yeah, man.
That's dope.
So this is it's another rabbit hole.
Damn it, just Eric. Now I'm gonna have to buy one.
Look, just the printer itself. And the thing that you'll appreciate, Jason, is they've thought of almost everything, right? As a way to make it user friendly. They call it the Apple of printers, of 3D printers, and it's like that for a reason. It is so simple. It's so everything is so well thought out. Um, and just kind of using this UI. Trying to scroll down to see if they had some other.
That is an Apple-ish UI too, by the way. Kind of like
it's
their
Apple,
website.
but this is
it just looks clean, huh?
Yeah, it's clean, and this is really just a good way for me to kind of show off what all is going on here. So the printer head is here, and this guy over here, this is there's a camera in here. There's a light that you can turn on, a camera that records time lapses, everything you're printing.
Damn.
3D.
So you can monitor your prints?
You can
real
monitor
time?
your prints
Wow,
real time.
Dude.
You can either print from the screen. I've touched the screen like maybe once. And I've been printing pretty much nonstop since Friday.
Bamboo, can we get a collab, bro? Can we, you know what I'm saying? Can we
look? It's dope. So when I say they've thought of everything, so they've thought of everything in the sense of, this printer, whenever it, you need to change colors or anything like that, this little guy over here to the left is where it kind of like gets rid of the excess filament. And if you don't have anything over here, it's just open space. So the first time it does is just flicking chunks of just melted filament out to the side. You're like, man, that sucks. Why, but if you go here, they actually have something for you to print that attaches onto the side to catch the filament.
No way.
Even this, so this off.
So you're
right
like recycling, basically.
It's so, it makes so much sense, right? You don't have to buy it. You're
Look
buying
at Eric's
a
face,
3D
Jeff.
printer, bro.
I'm telling you, man.
You have the same smile on your face. You have the same smile on your face, bro. So even off to the right here, so this is called AMS. I forget what AMS stands for, but essentially by default, you come with just the ability to print from one spool.
It's like a feeder, right? Like a feeder.
Yeah, and this actually lets you print from 4 different colors. And if I'm not mistaken, you can actually connect 2 of these up, so you can have a total of 8. But maybe you don't have the footprint, right? You don't have the space to have this off to the side wherever you want to put it. They actually have something. Oh, that's fine. There's something for you to 3D print that lets you sit this on top of the printer on the rail.
Wow,
that's free.
Attachment.
Like, yeah, it's like, it makes so much sense once you start 3D printing stuff. Like, oh, I'll just print that. Even when it comes down to like the type of materials, because there are so many. Like, so I'm going to show. I'll show that in a second. I want to show a couple of other things as far as websites go. So this is the website. If you want to buy it, we'll look at the prices, because
I got to ask you about price, man, because
so this printer with this the AMS right now is on sale for $509. I'll let you know the AMS by itself is $250.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a heck of a deal. The printer by itself is $400. So right now, this $509 price for both of them is
pretty solid.
It's pretty good, man, because you want the option to mix in colors, and you don't want to limit yourself. So I get it.
Yep. But once again, you also have the option to add that on later. Like, you can buy the AMS. Like I said, it comes by default with one spool holder.
Mm-hmm.
And they even have something where you can use the default spool holder. They don't even show it here, but it's just something that clips on top, like what I have on mine. They have where you can just 3D print another arm for it and just stick a second roll on there and use that. You don't even have to buy the AMS out the gate. It's such a like I'm at a loss for words, just because the concept has existed, but I'm just now discovering it. And the idea that, oh, you just make whatever you need, and you're buying something to make what you need. So it's designed for you to make what you need. Like, it seems simple once you kind of start using it, but they've literally thought of everything. Like, this is it, kind of, like,
Eric, it's cool that they didn't try to nickel and dime you to buy the mount to put it on top. They're like, oh no, just press this button, you can print your own.
Yep.
And it comes with filament, right? For you to even do that too.
So depending on which one you buy, I don't know about the AMS if it comes with filament, but with mine it came with like a little bit of filament, but it also came with a boat to print. So you're thinking about like, oh, you're gonna print the boat, but what did it come with? So it actually comes with like a little motor that you put on the back of the boat once you're done printing it. And the box that it comes in has a QR code, and you just scan the QR code and it pulls up the app.
Oh my God, Eric.
And you go into the app and you pick all your parameters.
I need to mute this, man. I'm gonna
print. Hey man, look, go ahead. If you're gonna
is this payback, bro, for all the money I made you spend? Is that what that is?
Oh, look, I've only begun. So as our listeners know, they hear us talking about why you should not go to Etsy. So I'm just gonna, pop up Etsy here right quick.
Oh,
and this is one of the reasons why we don't go to
out
Etsy,
the big
right?
guns.
You go to Etsy, you put in sim racing, and it's all kind of stuff. You want, to build a match wheel. You want to, build an enclosure for, a race logic. You want to
look
build
at that
your
phone,
own
dude. Look
flag.
at that racing seat phone holder. Look at that.
You want to make this racing seat? You can literally just print that on the print,
laying it on
right?
thick.
All of this.
Yes, he is.
You want to print it. This thing she's holding, you're like, oh, that's entirely too big. It'll print in sections for you to be able to connect up together and just have one big piece. I mean, the options are limitless, and Etsy is where people have been just taking advantage of.
This is like propaganda, bro. I'm getting infected right now.
Oh yeah, look, and it's not going to be curable, man.
It's not going to be curable.
One medication you can take.
It just continues. It's like, all right, man.
Yeah. All that stuff is 3D printed. You're right.
So the thing that I've learned about 3D printing is, in my mind initially it was, oh, you hit print and a finished thing comes out, and that's the reality is that's not always the case depending on what you're printing, right? Some of the stuff you need to finish, right? You might need to sand it a little bit, but the fact that you can choose what type of material you want. If I want to print a vinyl label, I can use a 3D printer as long as I'm using the correct filament. You can print it in TPU and like put that vinyl label on whatever you want to put it on. Like the options are limitless. But I guess now we'll have like a little bit of show and tell, just some of the stuff that I've been printing. So
oh no,
want to just kind of speak into all the filament options.
They should hire this guy.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Freaking salesman right here.
Hey, come on, I'm dude. Available. I'm definitely available. So if you're curious, well, how many different filaments do they really have? So they give you in the box, they give you this some little filament samples. And so this is not how they came. This actually is something that you just hit in 3D print. It prints in like 40 minutes to put the samples in. But I have to print 3 more.
My wallet is screaming right now.
Look, I have to print 3 more of these because it's not just those samples. Oh. There's so many. It's like all these different samples of the different filament you can have, and it's ABS. It's smooth. It's matte. It's shiny. It's fluorescent. Whatever you want to print, however you want to print it, you can pick a color, pick a filament type, depending on what. So
what's the damage on a roll of filament?
So right now, a base roll of filament like what I have, if you don't have the spool, is $20, $20 to $24, depending on where you get it from. If you have a spool, you can get a refill for $14 to $19. The reason why I say that is if you buy just one, it'll be $19. If you buy at least 4 from Bamboo, it'll end up being $14 per. And once again, if you don't have a spool, instead of spending $20 to $24, you literally can just print a spool to put the refill on.
Of course.
And so now you only have to buy the refills. Like it's
self-licking ice cream cone.
Exactly, man. It's such a crazy concept. It's like, hey, you don't have to buy this stuff from you. Like, just buy the filament and print it. Whatever it is, as long as you got filament, you can print it. So something else, just thinking about rig stuff. So I have, I think like Jason used to have as well. I have the SteelSeries Nova Pro Wireless, which has this nice little DAC here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to attach it to your sim rig, you have to, some people do use double-sided tape and things like that. But oh no, I went on and somebody actually had a file for a mount, right? And it actually has like Arctic Nova Pro in the back,
That's
and you
dope.
just pop it in, and now this will attach to my rig. It has a spot for the battery, clearance in the back for all the ports.
Screw it
And I can
down,
mount
and
it from
it's
the bottom. I can
solid.
mount it from the top, mount it on the side, however you want to put it in there. And this printed in like probably like an hour and a half. And now I had a mount.
Well, you could be at
that
work
is-
and just send it to print. Come home and it's ready.
Yeah. So I found this and sent it to the printer while we were eating dinner. Like, eating dinner. I'm like, oh, you gotta go to the bathroom? Okay, yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Yep.
I come home, click off the printer.
Just come on, just pull it off the printer. And so earlier when I mentioned being able to print things that are bigger than essentially what your printer can do in one shot, you can piece things together. So this right here is something that one of my homies printed. So this is like a 2-piece deal. And it even has this.
It looks high quality.
Dude,
that look,
you can't see any of the lines or nothing.
And we mentioned the color stuff. So this is a little base, and I wish I could.
Base?
It's like a rock. Oh.
So I just have this sitting on underneath my TV for the Colts. Get a little rowdy. Get a
if you were to buy something like that, Colts with the Colts name on it, hundreds of dollars.
Bro, this would be $100 like easily. But like the handle is one print, and the mallet is another print, and then you print the colored pieces and glue them on individually. But I mean, just like this is just something.
Looks
I printed another one. I'm making one for my homie. He likes the Bears.
So you're printing weapons now.
Hey, whatever you want to call it, man.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, but I mean, just I'm
gonna hit you over the head with my freaking printed hammer. Hold on,
Thor hammer.
Give me like 3 hours.
Oh yeah. Exactly.
How long did that take?
Like count your time. All right, it's coming because you about to get this mallet to the head. But the last thing I want to show you guys is the app. So try to do this best I can.
How much time for the hammer?
So the hammer is total probably about 8.5 hours.
Okay. So the machine took it like a champ. She didn't no overheating, no nothing.
Look, when I say I've been printing nonstop, I literally I printed the mallet head. The handle started printing, and the girls, I told them we'd have a movie night up here. So I hit pause. It paused the printing. We watched the movie for 2.5 hours. I hit unpause, and it kept printing the handle. And the other one, the second one is ready to go. And so it's like,
you give this to Jeff, man. Dude, he'll have crates of shit.
Dude, I'd have stuff for the rig, for fishing,
for the boat,
for mountain bike.
So this is just the beginning, right? So
your go-karts too. He could print stuff.
Yeah. So
like fog lights.
This is So this is the app. So this is actually like a camera feed, like from the printer.
You're actually watching it. That's cool.
Right there. Yeah. So it's showing me like what it just printed. It says 100% done, and I can go into the printer, and it gives me different options. I can cut the little light on and off.
All right, I'm sold, man. I've been sold 5 minutes ago.
But then also I have, let me see.
Like I see Eric flexing with the fold. I see you.
Oh yeah, man, you got to be able to demonstrate, man. So when I mentioned, just being able to get stuff like, so this is a mic stand that you can just print out, right?
Oh, that's from like the app, like a marketplace, and it's free, right?
Yep. So everything on here is free, and it's called Maker World. So it's in the app as well. So anything in here, like they got a little cage, like they got some of everything. Like you pull it up.
Night.
Yeah, you hit the item and you can go into it. And when you go into print, it knows what filament you have. You select which printer you have. It tells you how long it'll take. If anybody has remixed it, so maybe somebody put up a file and somebody printed it out and they're like, this file will be better if I tweak this a little bit. This is actually a V2 of this. So the original one, the DAC just kind of sat in there pretty loose. And so somebody was like, hey, I'm going to adjust it just a little bit so the DAC fits a little more snug. So when you go and you select what you're going to print, you can just swipe over to the V2 of it. And it literally says like a little note, this one, holds it a little more snugly.
Nice.
Print that one. And so like I said, this is all stuff that everybody else is providing you, but you have a studio app that you can install, and you can take the designs, you can tweak them yourself. There's an app you can download on your phone. You can actually
Damn,
3D
Eric.
scan something. Like when I tell you this is a hobby all on its own, obviously I got into it for the
All right,
sim
Jeff,
aspect of it.
we're gonna
But
have to talk about shipping whenever you decide to order one, and we'll split the shipping cost.
Yeah. It just seems like coming from, I mean, I know what a 3D printer is, but like past that basics of it, it seems like that company Bamboo kind of takes a lot of the back end knowledge, if you will, or requirements to know how to do this stuff. They just kind of seems like it has a pretty good GUI, interface that takes a lot of that like beeps and squeaks out of figuring it out. Yeah.
That was really, like I said,
simplicity.
My homie, he has the P1S. And so in my mind, I'm like, oh, you spent $1,000 for yours. Of course, yours is easy. But when you look at the technology, like the print quality, the features, and JC, you'll love this. So you can select different modes for it to print in, right? You can have standard, which I have. You can have fast. You can have quiet, and it has a ludicrous mode. So you can print ludicrous. So the print as fast as possible.
Speed.
Yeah, but obviously that'll be louder and probably a lot more vibrations and all that stuff. Like when you set it up, you really appreciate the thought that's been put into it and just what it can do, because the stand I have it on is not stable at all. Like I put feet on it because it's on carpet, it rocks a lot.
Really?
And when you calibrate it, it literally like tests all the parameters. Like it shakes as hard as it can, it vibrates as loud as it can, it goes through the full spectrum from violent shaking to really fine shaking, and it understands. Yeah, once it's done, it's like, okay, I understand it now. I know exactly what I can do. And when it's printing, like I was nervous, like when it's printing, like the whole little thing is like rocking back and forth, and it's going fast and slow, and it's wiping off the nozzle and coming back and going slow. And like for this handle, this is on the bed, and the printers is like going like back and forth, and the whole thing is shaking, but it's still lining everything up perfectly.
That's like crazy.
Yeah. And this is like $350, and I don't have to use any tools on it. I don't have to tweak it. You like literally you go into these apps and you hit a button and it literally says, do you have a Bamboo printer? Yes or no? You're like, yes. Okay. Which printer do you have? Which filament? Okay. I got you. Send it to the printer. If you don't have a Bamboo printer, it's like, wait, here's a file. Good luck.
Yeah.
Whatever you got.
Wow.
Good
wow.
luck, So
that's amazing. That's amazing.
I don't know if you could tell I'm sold on it.
Dude, you are ecstatic. I don't think I've ever seen you this happy.
I've just gotten, because I'm just realizing what it's like a new world, right? I'm just realizing what all I can do, because I haven't even designed anything yet. I haven't, I go through a lot of phones, and I'm always like in a place where I'm like, it'd be nice if I had a phone cradle for this or that. And now it's like, I can literally like take a calorimeter and like measure my phone down to the millimeter, put it into the designer, and like design me the perfect cradle at the right angle.
Wow.
All this stuff.
Boy, that rabbit hole goes way back there. It is deep. I can imagine.
Yeah, but that's so awesome though.
Oh, it is super cool. Don't get me wrong.
And it's deep, but it's not pricey though. It's really like, how much time do you want to invest in like learning how to 3D model or search for just the right file, print something and kind of, adjust it how you want. It's different. And to me, it's kind of a worse rabbit hole, because a lot of this stuff is essentially free. Of course, you got to pay for the filament, but just to try it out, like you go online, hit a button, and it appears hours later
in real life
at your house, in real life. No shipping. Like it could be snowing outside. No,
that's a great
delays.
Point.
Like,
yeah.
I need something.
The man says like it appears like it teleported over it.
I said it before. We can have a COVID part 2. And we're gonna be ready this time.
I'm gonna order a crap load of filament, and I'll see y'all on the other side.
That's it, bro.
man. But that's my discussion. And if y'all got any questions, anybody has any questions, definitely drop them in the chat because I'm a believer now.
Okay.
Like I say, it's not 100%. Some stuff you'll have to, do some finishing work on, but to get a full, ready to go product in your house, you can't beat it.
I'm already thinking about how I'm gonna get this thing over here. So,
that's small potatoes, man.
I think honestly, I think it's a great overview, and you made a great point. Is the shipping? Every time I order something off Etsy, their minimum is $10, $12.
Yep,
that's the cost of a refill.
Yeah,
and many items. I know those little plastic thingies that hold the wires together inside the 80/20.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Jeff can tell you how many of those he ordered.
So I'll tell you,
paid for somebody's 3D printer.
There you go.
I've been printing stuff since Friday, since I got it.
You kept this a secret, bro. We didn't know anything.
I tried my best. You saw I was radio silent. I wasn't really saying much.
I'm not kidding, guys. We didn't know about this.
No,
at all.
I was trying my best not to send a picture of anything that I printed of the printer.
Jeff, get your phone ready.
That's some.
The news is out now. We're gonna get all kinds of content on that chat.
It's coming. Like while it's printing.
I think that's great. I think that's awesome. And we have somebody on the Chicane podcast, a co-host, Eric Kelly, that has a 3D printer. So if you have any questions about them, pretty recently purchased, it's a good resource. I mean, and I might have to get one.
I know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely ask. Try to figure it out myself. Might be something I'm already trying to figure out. So definitely drop them in the comment section.
I just think it's awesome. Like having something. It's like having something that can be teleported or beamed to you while you're away. Instead of waiting on the mail, and then the package comes, it may come damaged. It may not come at all if you have those kind of people around that snag packages. Or instead of paying for shipping, I'd rather invest my money in the filament and just have a crap ton of filament and print whatever. Man, that's dangerous, bro. Because the more you have, the more you print. Huh? It's kind of interesting.
I mean, you find stuff, even like stuff for you, like around the house. Like I say, the options are endless because there's you just start, like, now that I have it, I start thinking about stuff that I can print something for. Because your mind isn't even in that mode of solving problems like that. Like you might look at your desk and be like, oh, I got crap in my desk. Let me put it in the drawer. Like, oh, I could literally design and print an organizer specifically for the stuff that I have to organize.
Wow.
And put the right measurements in there. It just depends on how much effort you want to put into it. But I'm trying to customize everything now.
That's what's up, man.
Repeat after me. They gave it to me.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
That's right. That's the other
slogan, man.
I'll put a blanket over it or something. I don't know.
You have to place to put it though.
Yeah. So I can't even concentrate on the show right now. I'm thinking, where's it gonna go? I'm looking over here. There's a little space right there. Might have to take some measurements or something. Yeah. But thank you, Eric. That was awesome. You become our new 3D expert. Anything you print out that's crazy, man, just show it here on the show. Mean it. Showcase it. Anything sim racing related. I mean, the DAC holder is awesome. It cleans up the setup. And you guys got to think. Yes, you can double side. You can sticky stuff together, right? Mm-hmm. But if you ever have to move this thing, something to consider. You know what I mean? Because now you could break it, or you can leave a nasty stain or something, but something clean that screws on that can be unbolted is always going to be the better option, in my opinion.
So this will be controversial for sure. You can 3D print 80/20. You can 3D print 80/20 end caps. You can 3D print the corner brackets. You can 3D print the end caps. If you need like a mouse mouse holder, you want an arm to hold a button box. That's not a lot of weight. 3D
Okay.
print,
I'm
80/20.
thinking the rig as a structure. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna fall through this ABS.
Yeah, not a whole rig for sure. But if
The
you just
butt
need
kicker
an
alone is
arm,
gonna destroy it.
Yeah, but I
yeah,
have like
but if you
arm
just
that
need an
just
arm,
is
yeah,
adds
like
to
for a
makes it look
button
like
box or a phone holder,
Light
display, or
duty.
whatever.
Light duty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, something light. Just print one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm ready to move on from this topic. It's been amazing. but the man, you're pulling the same type of tactics I do. Huh?
Yeah.
You've learned a lot from me, is what it is.
Yeah.
You've been studying. He cannot get the smile off the face, man. I swear.
Hey,
That's what's up, though.
I'm just thinking about more stuff to print.
Yo, the 3D printer. This episode is the greatest thing that happened to that printer so far, because it's like finally it's like, oh, I get to take a break for a little bit.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is the only time it's taking a break besides that movie.
Yeah, I pulled this off before we started shooting. And as soon as we get done,
wow,
I've already got something
hot
queued
off
up.
the press, literally.
I already got something that I'm going to print up next. So.
Already in the queue.
Well, we have another banger of an episode, it sounds like, because this right here is a highlight, in my opinion. I mean, we still got some more stuff to cover. So let's move on, because my mind is straight on 3D printer, and I need one, and I need to finish this episode so I can do some research, I guess.
Hey,
but over to Jeff.
go.
Jeff, what you got for us, man?
All right, my man. Hey, so I had a friend of the family come over. I think I talked about it last episode, and he asked me a question, and I thought it was pretty interesting. We walked around the sim for, I don't know, an hour and a half. Just he was asking a bunch of questions, but I showed him all the different types of sims and games that there are, and he's like, eventually he was like, "Hey, man, if you had to pick one sim for the rest of your life you got to play, what would it be?" And I was like, iRacing. And then I started to think, I was like, would it be? So while you guys are thinking about your answer, I'm going to go with mine. And it might be controversial, or maybe you're not
tell
your
me
standard
it's F1,
issue.
bro, because I'm going to walk out.
It's not
I'm going to straight walk out.
It's not that controversial. Let's be honest. AMS2.
So I think
it's a...
I have to agree with him, Eric.
Oh, really? Wow.
But I want to listen. I want to listen to why. Because
peg you a different one, but I'll go why I said it is. First is the vast number of cars that it has, from new cars to the current model cars for the most part, go-karts to F1.
They just updated the go-karts too. I was talking to VLAD.
Yeah. Classic cars to GT3s, the whole gamut. Then they have like a huge list of tracks that you can race, and then you can grab each one of those tracks, like similar to iRacing, gives you the ability to race different years that it was, and etc. VR compatible.
One of the best VR titles on PC.
Yeah.
Honestly.
There is not nearly the modding community that Assetto Corsa is, but a pretty decent modding community. Like I got the new skins for the F1 cars, and you can ingest those in and have the F1 cars have the current skins, and you can download the tracks, etc. for the F1 track that don't come with AMS2. And now that it's low fuel motorsports has AMS in it, so it just kind of adds to the kind of just the robustness. The only thing that it's really missing, their online community is there. Let's not be honest, it can't hold a candle to the iRacing and stuff, but there is some. But you
got low fuel for that to kind of
and that's probably where it's going to get bigger. But I was like, man, it's a pretty well-rounded sim. I mean, the graphics I think the graphics are really are good. The handling's good. It's just a pretty well-rounded sim. So I've talked a bunch. We could have Eric or Jason, you guys want to tell me, if you could only load up one game, one sim, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Yeah, Eric, you want to go first? Because I kind of agree. That's a hard one, man. Because when you mentioned content manager, You just reminded me.
That's what I was going to tell. I'm like, I had you as AC content manager for sure.
Now I will say this before you go, Eric.
Yeah.
And this will be very easy. Very easy. I say both of them, and I'm going to pick both because I'm the host. I'm just kidding. But I say both because AMS is a package. You have all the content there. See, Content Manager, it needs that content to be downloaded in. So depending on your library size, you know, if we go through the apocalypse tomorrow and the server shut down, AMS will work. But Content Manager, I'm stuck, you know, I don't know.
There's always something. Whenever I get into one of those Discord servers, there's always something that I'm missing. I'm like,
back your games up.
Yet. I got to download something.
Back your games up. For real. Back up your content just in case. Yeah, but like, for example, if this PC died and my backup got destroyed and I was to download Content Manager and compare that against AMS2, AMS2 will win. Because it's content that's in... It's in the game already. It's included. Yes. Yeah. That's my take.
I agree. And it's funny you say that because I took a couple of laps in the MS2, specifically in the go-kart. So I did Mount Panorama in a go-kart.
The go-kart.
It's kind of crazy.
That's a death trap.
Yeah. A little shift. It took forever. That last straight. I mean,
you fall asleep, bro. You're like,
I literally drifted off to hit the grass. And, grass and carts don't mix, so crashed out. But yeah, I was kind of pleasantly surprised by how polished AMS2 was. I've never done any online or league racing with AMS2. I think that'll be cool. But you mentioning that, it's hard for me not to say Assetto Corsa with Content Manager, just because for me, I like the GT3 cars, but also kind of having more of an open world option, cruising as well, not just track racing. That's why for me, iRacing wouldn't really be in the running because they don't have that.
And it's a service.
Yeah, so it's a service as well.
You cut the cord, it doesn't work no more.
Yeah. Yep. And funny enough, when you first said it, I was like, man, ask this question in a year, and I think it'd be hard not to say Assetto Corsa Evo.
Ooh, that's
because
interesting.
It's going to have
the
physics on it are great. The visuals are great. There's some online components, but we started playing it offline, and you could do AI races on the tracks fine. There was no kind of requirement to be connected to the network just to run the game, which is kind of becoming more and more rare these days. But right now, I'd have to take AC with Content Manager. Just for obviously if something happens to the servers, I'd be screwed. But try to pick one where everything is working.
Well, I mean, just make sure you have the content, right?
And all the plugins and all your Pure, and there's tons of them, with the physics and the picture and all of the things.
The beauty of
together is great.
Right. And I was going to say, I mean, you're right, Eric, but the beauty of Content Manager with AC is that AC is a dead game. It's not getting updates. So you know how I made that truck, the American Truck Simulator video, right?
Yeah.
I left a small caveat on. It is a PITA to keep that game up to date with the mods. So anytime that ATS has an update and you want to update it because their updates are great, they keep adding stuff that want you to upgrade or fixes or whatever. Next thing you know, your mods, half of them don't work. So you have to wait.
That's such a pain.
Yes. Yeah. So you gotta go through each individual developer and get it up to date. So that's how come sometimes it could be a pain when you mess with mods. But a Content Manager doesn't matter. You can have the version of Pure that was 2-3 versions ago. It doesn't matter because the game engine or the game itself didn't receive an update. Content Manager receives updates. The the plugin for Content Manager. I forget it right now, but that receives updates, but it never makes it incompatible. It's only trying to make it better. So that's kind of the differences, right? With games that are live and games that are dead. So, AC Evo got a long way to go. We got to see if that game will run offline, because all we know is an open, not an open, what you call this, a closed alpha or an early access so far. But I know Steam, if you don't have internet with Steam, there's a thing you have to do to it to make your games work offline. And you can only do it days at a time. So
I was trying to think I forgot about that piece.
Yes.
Because you got to use Steam.
It's kind of everywhere,
the game.
Yeah. It's kind of everywhere. It's like PlayStation or Xbox. If you're offline for a certain amount of time, let's say, I don't know how long, and you try and delete that game and you're signed off, or I don't know, the console does run checks for licenses, for modded stuff or pirated stuff, which is a world we live in with piracy being a big problem. That's where that comes from. That's why those checks are in place, because of piracy.
Yeah. For sure.
That's part of it. So there's options on PC, guys. There's websites that will sell you non-DRM games, right? So non-DRM games are games that you will own. You have the setup. It's a folder now. It used to be a CD back in the day, and you can install it anytime you want, and it's your game. But whenever you buy things from Steam, even though it's free and you own it, you own the license to it. You don't technically own the product itself. Just remember that. Yeah. Okay.
If I could just go real quick, Jason, one more thing to the listeners, post a comment if you got to pick one.
For sure. Yeah.
And more importantly, why? It's just interesting to pick why people would choose what they choose.
I think it's a great choice. AMS2 is a high contender. It's a great game. It has great graphics. It runs on anything. Even back when I had a 3080 days, I would see 100, 200 frames a second, and it looks crisp. It's a great looking game, Yeah. So that's a good one. I agree with both. I'm leaning more on the Content Manager side because I drift. I can't be without drift. And that's the only sim drifter out there that's one-to-one realistic, that's got the physics that, there's no other sim that I use to drift on, or open world explore, like the Tokyo Highway, is one of them. Example. All right, gents. Yeah. Great question. That one took me by surprise. That's a great question, Jeff. Good topic this week. But it's that time. And it's that time for track of the week. And today I have selected the track that I did terrible on just a few weeks ago. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Once again, I'm on the podium. And we are talking about Sebring.
Oh.
Yes.
That's a tough track, man.
Sebring, let me get this nice and in shot here. Hopefully we can see that. It is a tough track. But we're gonna go over the history of this track real quick. So Sebring, as an overview, it's always been famous for its 12-hour races. A lot of famous drivers have been on this track, and one that you'll never guess, Jeff, and I'm speaking directly to you, you'll never guess, has the world record lap time on this thing. It was built on the runways and connecting roads of former U.S. Army Air Base. So that straightaway was part of an air base. It's crazy. So let me get into the history here.
That's cool. I knew it was a runway. I didn't know it was a actual, I'm assuming, former military base, but yeah.
Yeah, so this, again, here we go with back in the World War stuff. It seems like thanks to World War, which we don't want another one, we got racing somehow. This is kind of crazy. Or racing or tracks to race on.
Seems to be a theme for sure.
Right? It's like a trend. So the airbase on which it stands was built at the height of World War II, when the city of Sebring donated land for a new air training school. In June 1941, construction crews moved in and began creating the runways and barracks with a networks, buildings, roads, sewage, the whole thing. Basically, self-contained, a small city they had there. Shortly before completion, the orders came through that the base was to be expanded to become the first combat crew training school in the United States for heavy bombers, requiring much more robust and large runways to withstand the pounding of a giant B-17 flying fortress bombers. Oh, God. Engineers poured multiple slabs of concrete to form the runways, which crisscrossed the site in 4 directions. Named Hendricks Field in honor of a fallen flight instructor, the base spent the rest of the war training hundreds of pilots, for B-17, B-24, and later B-29, Super Fortress flight crews. And then at the end of the war, it soon became a surplus to requirements, and after a short period of inactivity, the abandoned airfield was turned over to the city of Sebring to become Sebring Air Terminal, now Sebring Regional Airport and Commerce Park. So here's where the racing starts. It was in the Geist that Sebring first came to the attention of the racing community. One day in 1949, just 9 years later, a sports car racer called Sam Collier and Bob Geoghegan, if I'm saying it correctly, were flying overhead when they spotted the airfield below and decided to take a look. On landing, they asked to see the person in charge and asked if it would be possible to hold the race on the grounds. Alan Altwalder, who ran the air terminal, said it would be a matter of city council to decide, but took them on a tour of the facility. So, they saw it from the air. Evidently impressed by what they had seen, the pair departed to begin preparations, leaving the gentleman to talk to the council members to sound them out, basically. At the Watkins Glen Road Race, which is another awesome track. We should do that one soon. In 1950. Collier and Geoghegan evidently shared the idea with other racers to sound them out. Tragically, Collier was killed at the very race, and it seemed that the idea might have been died with him. Enter fellow racer Ullman, who had been inspired by a trip to Le Mans and harbored ambitions to bring European-style racing to the United States of America. The former president of the Dowdy Equipment Corporation, which manufactured landing gears for military aircraft, he was also keen on starting a new business, refitting war surplus aircraft for civilian uses. So here, dude, there's a lot to this, man. In the book, The Sebring Story, Ullman writes that what he found seemed ideal for his vision: 2 glorious 1-mile straightaways, so necessary for top speed competition, and other roads that could simulate Le Mans. So he was trying to bring Le Mans to America, basically.
I can see that. Yeah.
Yeah. So right angle turns as Mund Lane, and if we look at, let me see if, you see there's a curve here called Le Mans curve.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I would have never guessed why it was called that.
Yeah, and then those straights are you're gonna be rolling.
Yeah, so in the early years, it says here, held on New Year's Eve, 1950, around 30 cars from across the country turned out to the contest. Sam Collier's 6-hour memorial run to complicated equivalence formula, which ensured that the handful of local spectators have no clue who was winning. Rather, it was won by the team of Ralph Deshan and Fritz Koster. who had borrowed a spectator's tiny and otherwise unsporting Crossley hotshot to participate in the event. So, yeah, man. Just skipping, there's so much history here. In 1959, Ullman pulled off something a coupe, organizing first U.S. Grand Prix for Formula One machinery. 1959, Jeff. Formula One.
Okay, the OG.
In the end, the bumpy concrete, which I can concur, proved a poor match for the sophisticated single-seaters, and the event failed.
It would be a great I mean, looking at it, the picture, and then looking back on driving it, it would be a good track. It's got long straights, some good turns, slower turns.
Yeah, so it failed on the track. It didn't do well. So in 1966, the 12 Hours was self-established. It became another battleground between Ford and Ferrari in preparation for Le Mans. That year's race was to prove Sebring's grimmest hour. However, thanks to a string of fatalities, which exposed basically the safety again. So it seems like a trend, right? Every time we do track of the week, it seems like the track's view is for it to be super fast without accounting for safety, and then people start dying, and then they start making changes. So the first one was Canadian Bob McLean was killed when his Ford GT40 suffered mechanical trouble, sending it in careening into a telegraph pole.
What was a telegram pole doing around a racetrack?
Crazy, I know. So the car bursted into flames with the McLaren trapped inside.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. Further tragedy was to strike with 2 hours to go when Mario Andretti's Ferrari slowed with gearbox trouble, only to be clipped by Don Wester's Porsche, sending Wester first into a group of spectators who were stood in a restricted zone, and then into the side of a warehouse.
Damn.
Jesus. 4 spectators, including a 9-year-old boy, were killed, and Wester suffered multiple injuries.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they got that under control, man.
That's the type of stuff that closes tracks down.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I mean, so back then, 1959, I mean, what was that, 59 or 66? Yeah, 66. I mean, the rules were kind of light, even F1 drivers were dying at least every year, it was common back then.
Yeah. And it was the beginnings, of kind of motorsport essentially too, so there were sadly a lot of lessons to be learned.
So, I mean, there's a bunch of lawsuits I'm reading here, and the track owner, Pete McMahon, if I'm saying this wrong, sorry. He was willing to invest $1.5 million in track upgrades that would include extending its length from 2 miles to 5.5 miles. In addition, 80 covered pits would be built for the entrance, plus bleachers for the spectators, so that they wouldn't be in the damn restricted zone that,
What a novel idea.
I know.
Yeah. How about that?
So, Mother Nature had other ideas. However, the Palm Beach area suffered through 2 months of unprecedented rains, delaying the start of any construction work. So finally in November, the officials announced that it would be abandoning the 10-year contract to hold the race because the rain and high water table prevented them from getting the track ready in time. So almost done here. Resurrection. So, concessions to safety were made, including the moving of the warehouse straight onto a parallel road to keep the cars further away from the building. Let's move over to 66 here before I continue, so you can guys get that on display.
Jeez, look at the changes.
Drastic changes.
Yeah.
Man.
Like,
make the track with a ruler?
They added 5.5 miles, dude. Look at this.
Bro.
Yes,
You were risking your life. After every turn, you were wide open forever.
Wide open throttle. Throttle.
Brakes and wide open.
Yeah, so They eliminated the old western corner and replaced it with the Green Park chicane. Where is this Green Park chicane? I see Green Park Boulevard, so I'm guessing that's what they mean. What year is this? 1966 still.
Yeah. Unless they added it in 67 or something. I don't know.
Says while nylon belting was designed to catch Navy planes that might overshot a carrier landing on a short runway, was installed along the new warehouse straight. The track's insurers also insisted spectators be kept at least 120 feet from the track rather than the previous 75 feet, while chain link fencing and Armco barriers were also so a crap ton of safety features. So we're going to skip ahead to 1983. As you can see, there's definitely changed here. There goes that warehouse. There goes that chicane. It's just called chicane now, according to this website. See, when the first of several course changes marked a push to reduce the circuit's impact on the operations of the airport, which were seeing increasing flight traffic, this would ultimately see the portions using the north and south runway reduced and finally eliminated. In tandem, yeah, dude.
They're still using the runway?
Yeah, they were still flying planes. Yeah,
that's crazy.
This is an airport, dude. In tandem came a general upgrade of paddock facilities, which saw the relocation of a backstretch in 1984. Let's go to 84.
Okay. They moved it down a little bit. I
see. Right here. This bend right here?
Yeah, they dropped it, softened it up a little bit, and I guess dropped it down a little bit.
They smoothed it out, the edges on there.
Yeah. Less sharp.
Yeah, so I kind of lost my position here. This would ultimately see the position. Okay, I read that. And then bigger changes came in 87, just to summarize, guys. When new sections were built for turn 1 and turn 3, eliminating much of the concrete apron, and the track was rerouted away from north-south runway altogether, which a new stretch of permanent road which rejoined onto Ullman's Strait. So let's go to 87. Wow, dude. What?
Dang.
Look at the changes on this.
Wow.
It's almost a mile shorter.
Yeah, that's a whole different track.
This looks like a bent spoon. I don't know.
I see it. I got you.
You got that?
Yeah, little Matrix vibes.
Yeah, a little bit, huh? A little bit. So the track underwent ownership changes in 1990. Firstly, it was acquired by Scandia Racing boss Andy Evans, who sold it to Don Panaz in 97. So let's go to the 90s. We're in the 90s. Let's go to 97. Still changing.
Still your spoon.
Yeah, man.
Still a little spoon.
Yeah.
Under Panzer's
it's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, they've been further investment. Mm-hmm. Which has seen the construction of the Chateau, whatever, Ellen Hotel overlooking the hairpin. Okay. In September 2012, let's go to 2012. Should be this layout. They just added, these are just different layouts for different events. The Panaz Motorsport Group was sold to NASCAR, which thus became the new owner of Sebring Raceway. The famous 12-hour continues, part of NASCAR-sanctioned United Sports Car Championship, while the track also hosts the Legends of Motorsport and Historic Sports Car Racing Series and is the winner home of the Skip Barber Racing School. Many teams also continue to use Sebring for winter testing due to the harm climate. So there's a little bit of more information that's left for me to cover, but I will not read that. I will show you. And this one is the one that's going to shock Jeff. Hope he's ready.
Send it.
So here we have a full lap around, or I should say qualifying a record time for Mr. Fernando Alonso.
Might have heard of him once or twice.
That broke the record in 2019 and is still that record holder. Let's watch him.
Is he in a prototype?
Yeah.
Damn, look, he is carrying the mail. It's at night, too.
Man.
Jeez.
Look at the
He's
post.
driving that thing like he's angry at it.
Bro.
You know, this is another reason why it's hard to not like Alonso. The dude's just a gearhead. Just loves to drive anything. He's driving the shit out of this thing right now.
I'm telling you, man.
This guy is wide open, like the whole time. Like, oh,
almost lost it. Why are they qualifying at night? There's like no lights on the track.
Oh, bro, it's almost
Oh, they do have a little
pitch black in there.
ooh, good turning.
That turn's hard, man. There's no curb or nothing to tell you where you're going.
You can barely see.
You can barely see. Wow.
Oh,
That's crazy. Yeah, Jason, I remember you doing that.
Dude. That's a hell of a video.
so
Yeah.
the man clocks in 6 kilometers in a minute 40.124. Let that
Dude.
sink in.
Yeah,
He is flying.
Yeah, bro. That's my dude Alonso, man.
That's your boy.
That's my boy Alonso. So that's about it for track of the week. That's Sebring for you. It's kind of interesting. It's had its ups and downs, you know, for sure. But we're seeing a trend here of World War II being the biggest influence so far, you know, thus far, not just in Europe, but in the United States. I mean, it's kind of crazy how that works out.
Yeah, I think the thing I'm seeing is a lot of the infrastructure from some of these facilities that they use for war. Once the war's over, it's kind of like, hey, we laid all these, you know, all this infrastructure down here. Well, might as well drive fast on it, you know.
Well, we got plenty of that in Hawaii, man, but we ain't doing nothing with it.
Hey, man, that's an opportunity right there, man.
It's tough because they're not making new tracks. Like those days are gone, right? Let's be honest. Let's call a spade, right? Nobody wants a track. Everybody wants tracks. Nobody wants one in their backyard.
Yeah.
So if it's around, we got to keep it open because.
Yep.
Well, let's look at the cost of how much
like a
that would cost nowadays. You know, the way things are going.
Yeah.
I don't even want to. Wow.
Insane amount of money.
I couldn't even give an educated guess.
That's probably why we're not seeing it, because there's no guarantee that they're going to do well. And it's a lot of money for you to put forward. That's a hope and dream. That's a hope and dream, you know.
On that, I saw something, it came across my Instagram that like this dude in China has a track like in his backyard that him and his buddies just race at. Like I'll send you it. It's China. Like world class, of course, China. Yeah. World class track, but just a couple dudes driving on it.
All right, man. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That's about it for this week, guys. I don't have any roundtables. I don't have anything to cover. I think today was great. I think the highlight today was definitely the 3D printer, which is still on my mind. It's been on my mind the whole time I was presenting. Even watching my boy Alonso do his thing in 2019. So really happy with this one. Over to Eric or Jeff, whatever you guys got for this week to close.
Yeah, I've got nothing, man. I'll be printing away.
I just got a quick one. I just want to give one of the comments on the last video, Chatter9, gave some tips. I was talking about trophy truck driving and rallycross, and he gave a couple tips in there. Chatter 9 just wanted to give you, hey buddy, appreciate it. I'll be researching the quote unquote Scandinavian flick, or the Scandi or the flick for short. So
good catch, man. Because he did
appreciate it, man. Yeah, dude. I was like, yeah. He's like, basically, I'll summarize. He's like, hey, you don't really need an e-brake to do all this stuff, And honestly, it becomes a hitch or a limp or a crutch. So learn to do it without it. Point taken, buddy. We'll start grinding away. When I come back from my trip, I'll have a
full
new,
report,
gear shifter, and hopefully I get some time behind it. So, cheers, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
and drive fast and brake even later. Oh, you didn't need to be reminded today.
It was, when you're about to say something and you take that initial. You didn't see that though. Another great episode. Another one bites the dust. Jeff, safe travels.
Thanks, bud.
Definitely.
Eric, I hate you and I love you at the same time. So happy printing.
Anytime, man.
And with that, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions of any kind, just email us at thechicanepodcast@gmail.com. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and have a great start of your week. Thank you.